stop looking at the stock market for a second and go look at your utility meter. Seriously, that spinning wheel on the side of your house. That is the crime scene. You think your electric bill is high now? Just wait until 2026. While everyone is distracted by the shiny AI robots on their screens, there is a silent robbery happening through the outlets in your wall. Listen to me closely because this is going to hurt before it feels good. You open that envelope from the power company and your stomach drops. $300, $400 for what? You didn't leave the lights on. You didn't buy a hot tub. So why is the price skyrocketing? Here is the truth. The news isn't telling you. You are paying the bill for the biggest tech companies in the world. Imagine your neighbor runs a massive industrial welding factory in his garage 24/7. He is pulling so much juice that the transformer down the street blows up. The power company has to build a bigger one. But who pays for that upgrade? Just him. Nope, they spread that cost across the whole neighborhood. That is exactly what is happening with artificial intelligence right now. By the way, go check your bill from last month. Did the price jump for no reason? If it did, type the word robbery in the comments. I want to see how widespread this is. Every time someone asks a chatbot to write a poem or generate a picture of a cat in space, a massive server farm somewhere in Virginia or Texas spins up. These things don't sip power, they gulp it. A standard Google search is like turning on a light bulb for a second. An AI query? That's like running a dishwasher. And here's the kicker. Big tech is running a giant orange extension cord from their data centers right into your wallet. They get the profits from the AI revolution. You get the rate hikes to pay for the grid upgrades. It's the classic system setup, privatize the gains, socialize the losses. But we aren't here to just complain about the system. We are here to beat it. If they are going to raid our wallets through the electric grid, we need to position ourselves so that every time they flip the switch, we get paid. This is about survival. Before we get into the strategy, standard disclaimer, I'm a guy on the internet, not a financial advisor. This is for education. Do your own research because markets are risky. But if you're tired of being the one paying the bill, stick around. We're about to flip the circuit breaker. So why is 2026 the magic number? Why am I screaming about a date 2 years from now? Because in the world of heavy infrastructure, 2026 is tomorrow morning. You can code a new AI app in a weekend. But you can't 3D print a power plant. Right now, we are heading for a brick wall at 100 miles an hour. And the folks in charge are just now realizing the brakes don't work. Think of the US power grid like an old 2-lane highway built in the 1970s. It's got potholes, it's narrow, and it was designed for a few family sedans, your television, your fridge, maybe an AC unit running in the summer. It was never built for heavy traffic. But suddenly, big tech is trying to drive a fleet of 10 million semi-trucks down that single-lane road all at once. That is the AI boom. We aren't just running out of space, we are physically crushing the pavement. Here is the dirty little secret they don't put in the press releases. AI is incredibly thirsty. Every time you ask a chatbot to write an email, plan a trip, or generate an image, it burns 10 times the electricity of a standard Google search. 10 times. Now, multiply that by billions of queries a day. We aren't talking about plugging in a few more iPhones or laptops here. We are talking about needing to add the entire power consumption of Germany to the US grid in just a few years. And here is where it gets personal. When that highway gets clogged, who do you think pays to widen it? The tech giants with the trillion-dollar market caps, please. They pass that pressure down the line until it lands on the utility companies. And the utilities, they pass the bill directly to you. Your monthly electric bill is about to subsidize the AI revolution. They get the record-breaking profits. You get the rate hike to pay for new substations and transmission lines. That's the system working exactly as designed to squeeze the little guy while the giants eat. But this isn't just about money. It is about physics. You can't fix this overnight. It takes years of permits, environmental studies, and construction to bring a new power source online. Even the basic hardware, the transformers that step down voltage so your house doesn't explode, has a waiting list of up to 3 years right now. You literally cannot buy the parts to fix the problem, and don't think they can just slap up a few solar panels and call it a day. AI data centers run 24/7. They need baseload, power the heavy-hitting stuff that runs when the sun isn't shining and the wind isn't blowing. That means nuclear and natural gas. Try getting a permit to build a new gas plant near a city today. Good luck. You'll be tied up in court until 2030. This creates what we call a supply and demand squeeze. It's the ultimate bottleneck. On one side, you have the richest companies on earth, Microsoft, Google, Amazon, desperate for power to keep their AI dominance alive. If they don't get the juice, their stock crashes. On the other side, you have a grid that is tapped out. When an irresistible force hits an immovable object, the price of the scarcity asset electricity doesn't just go up, it goes vertical. This is where we use the Munger lens. We stop looking at the shiny cars. We look at the toll booth. We look for the choke point. The bottleneck isn't the software, it is the physics. The grid is the choke point. While the retail crowd is chasing the hot chip stocks at all-time highs, hoping for a miracle, we are looking at the utility pole outside your house. In 2026, the companies that own the power generation, the actual electrons flowing through the wires, are going to be holding the golden ticket. Think of it as the ultimate street smart hedge. When your utility bill jumps in 2026 because of this capacity crunch, you won't panic like everyone else. You'll grin. Because you own the company sending the bill, you are effectively charging big tech a toll to use the highway. While everyone else is worried about blackouts or inflation, the people holding these power assets will be watching their portfolio light up. This isn't speculation. It is supply and demand in its rawest form. We stay cool because we see the trap coming and we're already positioned to get paid. Now, I know what you're thinking. Okay, AI is big. I should go buy more of the chip makers, right? Stop. Take a breath. Let's use a little inversion logic here. Inversion is about looking at what everyone else is doing and doing the opposite to avoid the crowd crush. Right now, buying the popular AI chip stocks is like trying to buy a Ferrari dealership when Ferraris are already selling for $1 million a pop. The trade is crowded. Everyone and their grandmother is in that trade. But ask yourself this: what good is a Ferrari if there are no gas stations? What good is a $10,000 AI chip if you can't plug it in? It becomes a paperweight. The chip makers are the flashy sports cars. The power companies are the asphalt and the gasoline. They aren't sexy, they don't have cool leather jackets, but they are essential. You cannot have the AI revolution without them. Think about the gold rush. You've heard the cliché, don't dig for gold, sell shovels. We are going one step deeper. We aren't even selling shovels. We are selling the water the miners need to drink to stay alive. If they don't buy our water, they die. That is the leverage we want. The tech giants have no choice. They have hundreds of billions of dollars in servers that become scrap metal without reliable power. They are desperate customers. And who do we want to be in business with? Desperate billionaires with unlimited budgets. So we are pivoting. We are moving our attention from the tech sector to the utilities and energy sector. But not just any energy. Wind and solar are great, but they flicker when the sun goes down. AI needs power 24/7, rain or shine. We need the heavy hitters. We need the beasts of the grid. We need the stuff that people were scared of for decades, but are now running back to. This brings us to the dirty word of the last 30 years, nuclear. Yeah, I said it. For decades, the establishment treated nuclear power like the plague. They shut plants down, demonized the technology, and told us wind and solar would save the day. But guess what? The script hasn't just flipped, it's been torn up and rewritten entirely. Here's the reality check the news won't give you. You cannot run the intelligence revolution on a power source that decides to take a nap when the sun goes down or the wind stops blowing. Solar and wind are great, but they are intermittent. AI doesn't sleep. AI is a beast that needs to eat 24 hours a day, 365 days a year without blinking. Think about the scale here. A standard Google search uses a tiny blip of power like turning on a light bulb for a second. But a generative AI query, that's like running your dishwasher. Now multiply that by billions of queries a day. This is the bleeding neck of the AI industry. They have the chips, they have the software, but they are running out of the juice to power it all. That brings us to the only solution left on the table: nuclear. It is the baseload, the heavy lifter that holds the grid up when everything else fails. And big tech knows it. They are terrified of running out of power. Look at the scoreboard. The creator of Windows didn't just go out and buy another solar farm. They signed a massive historic deal to restart the 3 Mile Island nuclear plant. Let that sink in for a second. The literal symbol of nuclear fear, The place that scared a generation is being brought back to life by AI money. That isn't a suggestion, that is a screaming signal. The smartest money on the planet is admitting that you cannot run the future on batteries alone. So here's the play nobody's talking about. Everyone and their grandmother is chasing NVIDIA right now. They are all trying to buy the race car. But a Ferrari is just a remarkably expensive paperweight if you don't have gas in the tank. Nuclear is the gasoline. This is the anti-NVIDIA play. While the crowd fights over the overpriced chips, we quietly buy the only thing the chips can't live without. It's safer, it's smarter, and the upside is massive. Where do we look? We look at the landlords of the atom. We are talking about the boring utility companies that operate these reactors, like Constellation, and the companies that mine the fuel, like Camco. These stocks have been asleep for a decade. They are priced like boring old utilities that your grandpa owned. But now, they are transforming into high-growth tech proxies. Imagine you bought a dusty, boring parking lot in the middle of a swamp. Nobody cares, right? It's just asphalt. But then, suddenly Disney World gets built right next door. Your boring parking lot is suddenly the most valuable real estate in the state. That is exactly what is happening to nuclear plants and uranium miners. They are sitting on the only infrastructure that can save big tech from starving. And here is the kicker. This is how you protect your own neck in 2026. Your electric bill is going to spike. The grid is old, it's weak, and it needs $1 trillion upgrade to handle this AI boom. Guess who they are going to bill for that upgrade? You. They pass the cost down to the ratepayer. But we can flip the script. If you own shares in the nuclear operators or the uranium producers, you are effectively hedging your own utility bill. When they raise the price of electricity to feed the data centers, your stock goes up. You turn a monthly expense into a portfolio win. That is the ultimate street smart move. You stop being the victim of inflation and start being the beneficiary of it. We aren't picking penny stocks and hoping for a miracle here. We are looking at the major utility ETFs and the big uranium producers. The sector is tiny. It doesn't take much money flowing in to send these things flying. The supply of uranium is tighter than a drum. You can't just code more of it into existence. You have to dig it out of the ground. And that takes 10 years. But the demand, it's exploding right now. That is the setup we dream of. It's ugly to the average investor, it's contrarian to the mainstream media, and it's exactly where we want to be. While they panic about energy shortages and rising bills, we'll be sitting there collecting the rent. We got this. All right, let's bring this home and land the plane. How do you actually play this? We call this the bill hedge. The goal here isn't just to get rich quick. It is to make yourself anti-fragile. Anti-fragile means that when the system gets chaotic, you get stronger. Here's the scenario. It's 2026. You open your electric bill. It's up 30%. Most people will panic. They will complain on social media. They will cut coupons. But you will look at that bill, then open your brokerage account, and you will see that your positions in nuclear energy, grid infrastructure, and utility ETFs are up 100%, 200%, maybe more. You take a little bit of that profit, pay the bill, and buy yourself a nice dinner with the rest. That is the hell yeah moment. You have turned a liability into an asset. You have turned their greed into your gain. So what is the homework? Go look at the utility sector ETFs. Look at the uranium miners. Look for the companies that own the transmission lines. Don't just blindly buy, read the charts, wait for a dip, and layer in. Remember, we are the scrappy kids stealing the ball back from the big team. The system is designed to extract wealth from you through inflation and fees. This is your shield. This is your sword. Final warning, markets go up and down. You could lose money. This is not a guarantee, but staying on the sidelines while your costs go up, that is a guaranteed loss. 2026 isn't coming. It is already here in the markets. Don't let them win twice. Smash that subscribe button and let's build your defense line together.